Okay, here we go. Good evening and welcome to the Arundel Camera Club meeting for Thursday, March 14th. Gosh, I can't believe it's March already. My name is John Milliker. I'm the club president for the 2023-2024 season. The Arundel Camera Club was founded in 1957 and exists to promote the arts, science, and education in all aspects and fields of photography. For more information about us, please visit arundelcameraclub.org. And we are now happy to be meeting in person as well as, of course, online for online people. If you are local to the Anne Arundel County, Maryland area, we highly encourage you to visit us at the Severna Park Baptist Church located at 506 Benfield Road, Severna Park, Maryland. I have an announcement for anyone who is joining us next week, including everybody here and anybody online. The church has another group that is meeting here in this location. They will be moving us to the sanctuary. And we will put signs on the doors. This door will likely be open, but we're going to open up the corner door where the building kind of has an L. We're going to open the corner door, go up the stairs, make your first left. We're going to put signs on there, so that's not going to be a problem. Do we have any announcements from officers? Ron, come on up. Do you have two announcements? How are we doing on audio, Christine?
Okay, I'll make these fast. The most important one, the most urgent one is if you haven't submitted for the MPA Black and White contest, March 15th, midnight is the deadline. So make sure you have it in by then. If you have any questions about that, let me know. And the subject is people. Secondly, I just saw that there's an MPA workshop on the shore that it's basically the theme is get your camera off of automatic. They have one slot left if anybody wants to sign up for that. The staff and so on for that one is really, really good. It's a good one. And I think, no, wait a minute, what else is missing? Anyway, check your Facebook feed and check your mail, and I'll probably send you more emails than you want, but there are a few other MPA things coming up you should take a look at.
Automatic is also P mode, right, Ron?
Yeah.
I thought P was for professional.
Professional.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Party mode.
Party mode, I like that. I want to talk a little bit about, we've got the eclipse. I talked a little bit about the eclipse last week. We are going to get a caravan of people, highly recommend carpooling, coming out to and with us. I've asked Christine, maybe Christine can get with Fred, who really had the first idea of going to Pittsburgh, but maybe you guys can find a hotel that's, low on the cost, low on the roaches, and we'll be good with that. We're going to stay the night Sunday the 7th, and then I guess get up super early that morning and chase a cloud-free sky. And we will be somewhere, I guess, along that coast of Lake Erie where the totality line is. We also have a camping coming up, which is July 6th through 10th, and that is at the Spruce Knob Lake camping facility. If you did not get that email from me, send me an email and let me know, and we'll get you that email and get you finding out where you need to go to sign up for that. Great time, dark sky area. We just relax and do nothing or hike or whatever, go down to the waterfalls during the day, and then at night, that's when we have a lot of fun with our cameras. And then I also mentioned that we are moving to the sanctuary next week. I'm going to get definitely some more information and send out an email on that as well. Any other announcements before we move on to Christine and then introduce our judge for tonight? No? Christine, why don't you come up here and talk about our schedule, including the amazing field trip to Blackwater National Wildlife Refuge, and then turn it over to Ron for our fantastic speaker. Here you go.
Good evening. This weekend, on both Saturday and Sunday, there will be members going to Blackwater National Wildlife Refuge. On March 21st is a program from James Corbett on making travel magic, Iceland and beyond. On March 28th is our next color and monochrome print contest with the theme of open. On April 4th, we have a program by Betsy Wilson on a different point of view. And then on April 11th is our next digital contest with the theme of night photography. And then April 18th is a program by Victoria Gray. And that is the upcoming schedule. I will turn the program over to Ron.
All right, thank you, Christine. We do have a digital contest tonight. And first of all, Joe, are you there?
I am.
Okay, great. Well, you're in a black box in the corner of the room, but we know you're there for real. Let me give them a little bit about you. Joel's judged for us before, Joel Hoffman. And he was, I guess it was about a year ago, Joel. Would that be correct?
That's correct.
Okay. He does an excellent job. Always enjoy hearing his commentary. And he and I judged a contest, I think, for a group in New York, maybe some time ago.
Connected.
Right. All right. So here's his background. He has dual vocation. This is the only judge that I know we've had so far that's both an attorney concentrating his practice in the area of business law and construction litigation, and he also has an active photography business, photographing weddings, bar mitzvahs, and other family and corporate events, portraits and headshots. He started doing photography in late 50s, early 60s, shooting auto races at Marlboro Raceway in Prince George's County. So that gives you an idea of doing more than headshots there. He also documented for the Victorian Lyric Opera Company. There are photographs of the operettas and the headshots for that group. Because of his construction litigation experience, he has had the opportunity to photograph architectural interiors and exteriors for several architectural and engineering firms. He has photographed jewelry, fur, leather, product catalogs for various companies, and has worked on numerous projects with a variety of graphic designers in both New York and Washington, D.C. So in addition to his law practice and other photographic endeavors, he teaches photography to developmentally challenged individuals and teaches courses on portraiture and on the equipment used to create artificial light. Now, from 2010 to 19, he took on the challenge of shooting every architectural structure on 16th Street in the District of Columbia, from Silver Spring, Maryland line to Lafayette Park in front of the White House. Current projects include photographing all the courthouses in Maryland, the MARC train stations from D.C. to West Virginia, and all of the fire stations in the District of Columbia. He's a certified MPA judge and has been a member of North Bethesda Camera Club for 30 years. He has served as its president as well as many other positions in the organization. Now, Joel, that's your bio from about a year ago. Is there something that I should tell these folks tonight that we haven't?
No, I wasn't even sure that was me.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling what I know, so that's good. Okay, we're going to do 2 parts, and John is going to do his usual here. So we're going to do the novices first. And I have to say, when these images came in initially, I looked at them and I thought, holy cow, I'm glad I'm not the judge for this one. So good luck, Joel, because it's going to be some tough competition. And first we'll do the novice. I'm sorry?
If I could just say a few words before we start.
Absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, Ron, I agree with you. I looked briefly at the images for novice and unlimited. I am currently traveling. I'm talking to you from Austin, Texas. So I haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time on them, and that's pretty good because the wow factor is, will still stick in my mind. But I will say that some of the images in both categories are really outstanding and more than the number of probably awards that I can get. So some of it will be somewhat subjective, I guess, will be based on what tweaks my fancy at the moment. But the ones that don't make it, you should not take anything that I say too seriously. And if you like it, I always tell my students, and I will tell you, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. If you like it, hang it on your wall.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, great, Joel. Thank you. That's good words to live by. John, next we go through all of the images, and I'm going to turn it over to you since it'll be less complicated if we're back and forth.
Okay, Joel, can you hear me, sir?
I can.
Perfect. All right, well, the way that we're going to do this is you're going to follow along on your computer. I'm going to say the names and the numbers, and we're going to go through and do a quick pass through. And then once we get back to number 1, that's when you're going to steal the show and tell these fine people what they've won. And we'll go from there. When you put an image in or out, just make sure to let me know in or out. I will checks and balance that with you and repeat what you said, the number that's in or out. That way, both you and I have the same images left at the end. And don't feel like you've got to get rid of all the images at one time. We can go through many passes. Is that okay?
That's fine.
And while we're doing that, Ron, did you give him a number for what we need to come up with?
I did not.
We're going to figure that out, and we're going to let you know at the end. How about that?
Well, I can tell you right now, it'll be first through fourth and 3 honorable mentions. And I'll confirm that with Bob and Sue. Okay.
Ron, did you say one through 4 and 3 honorable?
Yes, 3 honorable.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to grab. Everybody here is looking at the screen, and right now I can't take that away because I get rid of the name, and I don't have my glasses with me. Number 1, In the Gotham Rain. Sue saves the day with a printed out sheet. Thank you so much. Number 2 is Standing Tall. Number 3 is Friendship Rose. Number 4 is Mind Bending.
Forward it, John.
Do I need to forward it? I'm trying to do too many things at one time. We've done this before, I promise. There we go. Number 4, Mind Bending. Number 5 is Attracted to Water. Number 6 is Splish Splash. Number 7, Ride in the Dark. Number 8, Morning Light. Number 9, See Ya. Number 10, Snowy Chesapeake Morning. 11, Yellow-Bellied Sapsucker. 12, Traditional Dancers. 13, Catching Dinner. 14, Winter Wonderland. 15, Upstairs. 16, Embrace. 17 is Tatooine Nap. Number 18 is Welcome Road. Number 19, Blue Dye. 20, Battlefield Aftermath. 21, Interesting and Weird. 22, Silent Feet. 23, Abscission. 24, Fire Eater. 25, Naomi. 26, Afternoon Nap. 27 is Dewey Decimal System. 28, Gabriella. 29, Half Half. 30, Praise Him. And 31, Gnarly Tree. That should be the end. I'm going to go all the way back to number 1, and then I'm going to leave it to you to tell us what you think about it, and if you want to keep it in or take it out.
Sounds good. Let me get back to the beginning here. Okay. So, number 1 I have is Gotham Rain, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is a very interesting photograph. I love the reflection, and I love the fact that you have a reflection of the Empire State Building off to the right. I think the one problem, not one problem, but the issue that I really have is that there seems to be a lot of white flecks in the image that could have been cleaned up easily in Lightroom. I know some of them, and it is kind of a grainy image, which is okay, but the white flecks, particularly at the bottom, unfortunately, I can't show you with a laser, but if you look at the bottom, just at the bottom where the sort of at the end of the reflected pole, you'll see a lot of white flecks, and that's sort of concerning to me. I know that it's raining, and I love the raindrops in the puddle, and I love the person walking in the back. But there are other images, I think, that are going to be stronger. So I'm going to take this one out, even though it's a really good effort, and I really like the image.
Would you like to keep that image in or put it out in the out, Paul? Was it out?
No, yes, take this one out.
Sorry. Number 2 is standing tall.
And okay, this is an interesting shot of a castle. I love the stone wall. I like the way it breaks just at the point where the castle is, as if somebody has tried to go through there to get to it. I think it's a little static in that the castle is almost in the middle of the picture. There is a little bit of wind for the flag, but it's a fairly static image, and the sky, while it's okay, it's not really helping the image. I think it could use maybe a little less foreground, and I would probably crop from the left side, maybe a third of the way in. There's just a lot of space that is unimportant because the image is about standing tall. So the castle is the important thing. So I'm going to take this one out as well.
Number 2 is out. Number 3.
Okay, I keep forgetting this. Okay, so this is a really lovely rose image. I'm going to assume, based on the background, which appears on my screen to be a mottled blue and black background. The lighting is lovely in this. The texture in the rose is perfect. You haven't cut anything off. The colors are very vibrant, but true. I'm going to keep this one in.
Number 3 is in. Number 4.
This was a really good effort. It took me a while to figure out. I don't like to look at the names until I've looked at the image. And this took me a while to figure out what's really going on here. I'm not quite sure how the photographer did this. I don't think it's a fisheye, but it's very interesting. I love the bend. I think it's a very clever image. I think that I wish that there was a separation between the round bend in the middle and the top of the building that it represents. I think a separation there would have been better if it was possible to do, because I'm not quite sure how this was done. And the right-hand side, the lower right-hand side, that building doesn't really do anything for this image. So I find that to be distracting. And the sky is not your friend in this one. It's a pretty bald sky, but so I think that detracts from it. And then the upper left-hand corner, there's a little piece of the building that's looks like it's gray. It's two pieces there, and that's very distracting as well. So because it's a difficult image to read, and because they have these other little things that are distracting, I'm going to take this one out as well. But it is clever. I would like to know at some point how this is done.
Okay, number 4 is out. We're on to number 5.
Number 5 is a very nice image of either a frog or a toad. Don't know my animals all that well. I love in the upper middle where the frog has sort of moved his back leg, and that has created some movement, which gives you some movement there. And there's also movement around the head of the frog as well. There are two things that sort of bother me. One is that the I don't know what you call it, the paw, or the leg on the right that is on the leaf, the white on the tips of the I'll call it a paw, don't seem to match what's on the left, which is dark brown. So I don't know, or I'm sorry, not dark brown, but a green. And I don't know whether there was a flash used for this or whether it was just the lighting. I'm going to keep this in just for now. I like the look of the leaf. I like the fact that it's not a perfect leaf. It's got some holes in it and some brown spots. I think that lends to the authenticity of the image. So I'm going to keep this in for now.
Number 5 is in. Number 6.
This is cute. When I first looked at this image, it looked like I'm assuming it's a young gentleman. It looked like he was too big for these boots, but the boots of the little, with the little image of the fireman in it, tells me that it's not. And I'm assuming that this is maybe lens choice, but everything looks really big, and the hand on the upper right is distracting because it takes away from the boots. I think you could have cut this off above the knee and just maybe a little higher than that, and shown just that, and that would have been stronger. The other thing is, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, there's a little piece of the other arm, I guess, or the other hand. So while I think this is a cute image, and I like the shutter speed that was used to grab the splashes, but I just don't think it's quite strong enough. And since it's the novice photograph, I'd like to point out to the novice several things. On the right-hand side, just about at the knee level, there's a little yellow mark. I don't know what it is. It's probably something in the street. And then in between the legs of the young boy, that repeats itself a little bit. There's a young thing there. So in competitions, you might want to try and take those things out if it's permitted in your camera club, because they are distracting. But nevertheless, I am going to take this one out.
Okay, number 6 is out. Number 7.
This is a really well done image for a night shot. It's very crisp. The balloon is perfect. The people down below lend a lot of excitement to it. I'm not quite sure whether the lights in the background are maybe where other balloons are being set up. We're not, they're a little distracting, but not terribly so. The one thing that is distracting is in the lower right-hand corner, there's a white speck that is just in the black foreground. And that is distracting, but the image is lovely. I'm going to keep this one in.
Number 7 is in. Number 8.
This is a really nice image of God rays. It would, I think I know where this is, believe it or not, but I'm not sure. But the interesting thing, I wish that the street wasn't there, because this would be a lovely scene in the forest. The street is somewhat distracting, even though I know there's nothing you can do about it. It was there. But I will say that the image itself is well conceived. It's well composed. The God rays, if you will, are really, really nice. They come through very well. I think it maybe could use a little more contrast if it did not affect the God rays. And I think what I might have done is try to darken down the tree trunk in the front, the one that's closest to the center and closest to the camera lens, just a little bit, because it is standing out, and actually the other trees are really even more interesting. But this is a very pretty image, and I'm going to keep it in.
Number 8 is in. Number 9.
This is I think it's when I looked at it the first time, the capture of this and then converting this to black and white, I thought was a very clever idea. I don't have much to say about it. I think you maybe could use a little more room for the wings on the right-hand side, but basically, I think that's really well done. I like the blurred greenery behind it, behind the birds that are coming at me. So I'm going to keep this in. This is very unique.
Number 9 is in. Number 10.
This is also a very pretty sort of a landscape or seascape, depending on how you look at it. But I like the way the photographer has kept the God rays again in this one that are coming down both through the clouds and also right from the top. I wish maybe that the sun could be burned in just a little bit, but it's not all that distracting because it is way up at the top. At the bottom, I think it's very nice that you've got the footprints. I don't know whether it's probably a person, because it doesn't look like there's enough paws for an animal, but I like the fact that it either leads you from the water back to the camera or from the camera to the water, but nevertheless, I think that makes it interesting. I think the texture in the snow is right. It's right on. I don't think it's either, it hasn't grayed out, and you also haven't blown it out, so it's very nice. I like the way this is composite, not composited. The composition is nice. I like the boardwalk leading out to the pier. So I'm going to keep this one in as well.
Number 10 is in. Number 11.
Well, this is definitely in. We'll start with that, okay? This is a really, really nice image of this bird. It's really nice. You got a catch light. You got all the right colors on the yellow-bellied sapsucker. The tree is a little bit sort of strange. You get a little, almost like parallaxing, because at the top it's smaller than at the bottom. But it really doesn't matter, because your eye goes directly to the bird. You get a wonderful background. nice soft background with complementary colors. So everything works well. I think this is really nice. I'll keep this one in.
11 is in. Number 12.
Okay, so we have two images in this competition where we have this spiral background. I think it's an interesting technique, particularly in this image, because the colors match so well with the dancers. I don't know if they're dancing or what, but that's what they're doing. And this is a really nice image. I'm looking to see if I can find something that's bad, and I can't. The white is not blown out on any of either the headdresses or the halters or the bottom. Everything is in focus as far as I can tell. This is also a very nice image. So I'm going to keep this one in as well.
12 is in. Number 13.
I spent a day on a crab boat on Smith Island, and I commend the photographer for sticking it out. It's a long day. This is a very nice shot, and it's an environmental portrait of this man looking into his bucket, or his basket, which doesn't look like it has too many crabs in there. And if it's anything like when we went, our crabber had a horrible day, so he was not very happy. I think while this is a really nice image of this man, and I don't have anything really negative to say about it. I like the crab grabbing on to whatever, I guess it's another crab that he's holding into. I just don't think it's a strong enough image to stay in this particular competition, but I like the image, and there's nothing really wrong with it. I just don't think it's quite as strong as some of the other images. So this one I'll take out.
Okay, number 13 is out. On to number 14.
Very interesting snow scene again. I don't know whether these are ski slopes, but there's certainly a lot of lines and texture in the snow. Again, this is not blown out. It's very sharp. You can see that up in the upper left-hand corner, you can actually see what is either a fence line, maybe for this. I'm not a skier, but maybe the skiers come down in there. The mountains in the background are kind of interesting. The one problem that I have is if you look at the upper right-hand corner, there's a line of some kind interrupting the clouds that goes all the way down to the top of the mountain. And I'm not sure whether that was a cloning issue, or I'm not sure what that is, but it's very distracting. And unfortunately, between that and the fact that the tip of the mountain is cut off on the left-hand side, is going to make me take this one out. I do like the fact, I will say that in the lower left-hand corner, the little green element there, that's sort of an aha moment, which makes the image pop a little bit. But the line at the upper right and the fact that you can't see the tip of the mountain is going to give me enough reason to take it out if I say that, because there are so many good images that I have to pare down somewhere. So this one will be out.
Okay, number 14 is out. Number 15.
Also a very nice image. I love the geometric patterns in this. I like the glass on behind the walker on the upper stair. Everything is perfectly lined up. I think if I were doing this image, I would try and add a little more contrast because it's a little flat, which I know is partly because of the diffusion in the windows, but if it was a little more crisp, then a little darker, more the blacks were a little blacker and the whites were a little whiter, I think you would have a stronger image. I don't have anything really negative to say about this, but there's so many good images in this, and this is one of them. But I think I'm going to take this one out because it really lacks contrast. It's a little flat.
Okay, 15 is out. Number 16.
Okay, 16, right?
Yes, sir.
Embrace.
16, embrace.
Okay. This is a very clever image. I'm assuming that is two forks. I won't swear, but whatever it is, I love the fact that everything is out of focus except the just the tongs at the very, very tips. And you can still see the background, the shadow in the background. I love the way this has been done. I like the shadows underneath. This is a really well done portrait of the, not really a portrait so much, but it's a well done image. And the fact that it goes out of focus so quickly usually would be a deterrent. But in this instance, because you're really focusing on the very tips of these, what I think are forks, I'm going to keep this in. It's a very nicely done image.
16 is in. Number 17.
Okay, so I hope this was a composite because when I first looked at this, the person lying in the top there, I thought was one of the robots from one of the science fiction movies. But when I looked at it carefully, it's a person imitating that. And it's a very clever idea. I have no idea what it is lying on. But the fact that it's floating gives you the feeling that it is, a spaceship of some kind. I'm sure it's not. It's probably the part of a car or something, but it's really very clever. I like the background, which is clear blue. It works very well, particularly when it's reflected in the blue in the goggles that are on the hat. Everything is tack sharp except for the bottom, which is all blurred out, and that works very well. It makes if I had maybe one suggestion would be to darken that a little bit because it is one of the brighter areas in the photograph, but it's not that distracting. I'm going to keep this one in as well.
Number 17 is in. Number 18.
Okay, this is a lovely image of a church, but it's a nice shot. Everything is tack sharp, and there's no negatives. It's pretty well. The composition is good. The subject is interesting, but the church is, I think, and I could be wrong, the church in the shadow part, I don't think that that's really blue. I think that it is white, but is in shadow, and the blue is a little distracting. And even if it really was blue, I think that making it a little even lighter than it is would be better. Also, on the left-hand side, you've cut off a piece of the building in order to keep the sort of I'll call it a false symmetry. But the building on the left-hand side, that is really distracting, where it goes from like a little teeny, what looks like an arrow. It's not. I know it's part of the building down to the top of the roof there. So while this is a really nice image, I'm not sure whether the people, the two people in the foreground or the church in the background is really the main subject. It's colorful, and it's a really nice image, but it's not strong enough for this competition. So I'm going to take this one out.
Number 18 is out. Number 19.
Okay, I want to see one thing. Okay. This is an okay image, and I don't know if it was by the same photographer that did the other flower. The other flower is so much better, both in lighting and in composition. This flower has some issues along the edges where it looks like it's either dying or it has been worked on in Photoshop, and then in the upper left portion of the same flower, it looks like that piece there is sort of multicolored. Does not do justice to this flower. So I think that was a good effort. I think the composition is not bad, but it's not strong enough for this competition. So I'm going to take this one out.
Number 19 is out. Number 20.
This is really, I hope that those are real people. They look like Star Wars. Yeah. Okay, so again, this image is also flat. I'm not quite sure. I know if I look at the photograph as a whole, I have the one standing robot or whatever that has killed the two that are on the ground. But because the one on the ground on the lower right is in the same focal plane almost as the one on the left, my eye keeps going back and forth between the two. And while I should be, I think, focusing on the standing robot or standing, maybe not robot, but warrior, my eye is having a problem doing that. And the one in the background is blurred. So everything behind the large robot blurs out. So while I think this is a very clever shot, I would try and do this again and add a little contrast. You need a little more blacks and whites in your image. But it is a clever idea. And I might have put the two that are on the ground a little closer to the one that is standing, because that would have given you a complete picture. This way, your eye is going around, but really the one in the lower right looks like it's going out of the picture. So it's just not strong enough. But it's a very clever image, and I applaud the photographer for the effort to do that. So, but I'm going to take this one out as well.
20 is out. 21.
Okay, so this image, we have a lot of dead space on the right side, and it's totally unnecessary because your image is in the bottom and where the grasses are above it. So the first thing I would do is crop maybe to the, if you count the strut on the very far right, and you come in just before I guess looks like it's, I don't know whether it's a tree limb or something else, but just in front of that, that's where I would crop to. That's number one. Number two, I think your grass at the top, you've got some blown out in the middle, right where just below the chain, and then I'm not quite sure. There's no room on that side, so you've got twigs or grasses that are going out of the frame, and they keep taking my eye away because it's one of the brightest areas in the photo. The bright area at the bottom, which is really, to me, the interesting part of the image, is so much smaller than the big grasses that it's distracting. So I'm not quite sure what this photographer is trying to tell me. It is a kind of a weird bunch of things down there, but it's not strong enough for this competition. So I will take this one out as well.
Okay, 21 is out. 22.
22, we always say you don't photograph somebody else's art, but in this instance, the photographer took an element of the art, and I don't find that to be problematic. I like the framing of this picture in terms of what looks like they could be Dutch shoes. I don't know. So I like that. I think it is. The lighting is not bad. I like the way it falls onto the shoes, which brings your eye right to the shoe. I think I would, if it were me, I probably would have darkened the people in the lower right-hand corner, primarily because everything else is sort of monochromatic, and the color draws your attention down to that, and then you can't really see it because it's blurred. So you do come back, but it's a very nice image, and one that I'm not sure needs all of the information that's on the right-hand side. You almost could have cropped this just at the point, or just outside of the point of the base of the sculpture. So while it's a nice effort, and it's nicely composed, with the exception of my statement about cropping, I am going to take this one out as well.
22 is out. 23.
This is, the rose and the petal is really, really nice. And this was really well done. But to the novice photographer, the lower right-hand side of this image, that is so distracting, and it doesn't need to be there. It's easily removed. Everything else on this, I know you don't want to make the rose seem like it's floating. I guess that, let me look, you know what, let me backtrack for 1 minute. That probably is the edge of the container. So let me rethink this for a minute, because now that I'm looking at it, a little different look here. I think I'm going to leave this in. I do think that a little more of a container might have helped the image, but I'm not going to take it out because before it just didn't register to me as anything more than maybe colors that were there. But now when I see it, it looks like it's the container. I'll leave it in for now. I'm not sure that it can hold up with the top 7 or 8 images, but it's a really nicely done. It's a little bit hot, but not enough to be totally distracting. We'll leave this one in.
23 is in. 24.
And this is the second image with the circular pattern. I'm going to assume that the same photographer will, without caring, just that we use sort of the same technique. This is really a very interesting image. I mean, getting the fire stick in the mouth of the fire eater and the flame is not blown out. It's maybe a bit soft there. I know it looks like the stick is a bit soft as well, but the expression on the fire eater and the angle, I like the diagonal, how it comes up from the lower left into the center, and then you've got the fire eater stick, which drags you right back to the fire eater's face. And the background, I'm not sure it was necessary, but it's not really bad. It's not my favorite technique for this particular image because I'm not quite sure what it represents, but nevertheless, it's a very nicely done image, and I will keep this one in for the moment.
Okay, number 24 is in. 25.
Okay. 25 is suffering from a lack of contrast and a very flat image. This is a lovely model. And if it's the photographer's wife, kudos. But she's very, very nice. I love the sparkle in her eyes. You did catch the catchlight. And I like the way the eyelash on the left, the right, or her right eye on the left side, it breaks the plane, but you can see all the little hairs in it, which is really nice. It is very flat. It could definitely use maybe some dehaze and maybe, I don't want to say a touch of clarity because I'm not sure that I want to eliminate the softness of the image. One thing you should pay attention to, I like the fact that you've got a little loop shadow on that left nostril that shows that wherever the light is coming from, she's properly placed. I'm not crazy about the thumb on the glove. I think you could have darkened that down a little bit so that it was not intrusive. And even I think I would even darken the tip of the first finger at the top because it really does distract from this lovely woman. I'm not sure, again, that you need the whole woman. I think you probably could have cropped this in between, maybe a third of the way up. I don't think you need all of the pageantry. You've got most of it at the top, and you have a little bit blown out on the right shoulder. I think you would find that the top of that is a little blown out. So I'm going to take this out, although I like the image, but it is too flat for this particular image, and I think the cropping could help. Maybe vignetting would have helped a little bit in the upper left-hand corner where it's so bright. It might have helped a little bit as well. So I'm going to take this one out.
25 is out. 26.
I'm going to take 26 out as well because it's cute. I mean, the cat is got its eyes closed. The total, maybe 20% of the image at the bottom, which is sort of not really the foreground, but almost the foreground, is all blurred out, which has made it a little difficult. I don't think you're getting a really good view of the body. So maybe you could have just, there's another image in one, I don't know if it's in this competition or the other, where maybe you could have just honed in on the face. But see, without the eyes, just doing the portrait of the head would not be sufficient. And watch on the upper right hand, the ear, which is touching the right hand side of the photograph. You need more space there. So while it's a lovely image, it's really not a lovely image, but a lovely subject, and the exposure is right. I'm not sure the composition is very strong in this, and the technical issue with the ear and the blurring at the bottom leads me to take this one out as well.
Okay, 26. Make sure I'm there. 26 is out. 27.
This is a clever photograph of the Dewey Decimal System. Again, I'm not sure that you need like the upper row of the drawers, and the reason I say that is if you look at the first and second drawers on the right-hand side, they're both cut off, and then you have obviously you have the ones on the left-hand side cut off, but that's okay because they're all cut off sort of in sequence, so I don't have a problem with that. But the two at the top, I would take that whole first top row out. I don't think you need it. That would eliminate the little teeny triangular light spot in the upper left-hand corner, which is always a distraction. And again, I think that I'm not sure if this was done with flash. It looks like it might have been, but I would have darkened a little bit the actual cards that are in the system. I like the fact that it's brighter than the rest of the image, but I think it could have used a little bit of darkening, maybe just by adding contrast would have sharpened it up a little bit. So I'm going to take this one out as well.
Was that take this one out?
Yes, please.
Okay, 27 is out. Number 28.
This is another lovely portrait of the young lady. You use what we call paramount or butterfly lighting under her nose, which is very nicely done. You've kept enough shadow. Actually, you've eliminated enough shadow under her chin so we can still see some of the bottom of her chin. You have catch lights in the upper portion of her eyes, which works well. Her hair is really nice. I like the way it flows over her left shoulder. The lighting on her hair is nice. The one comment, I'm going to keep this image in, but the one comment for the photographer, if it were me, I like the position of her head, but I would have pushed her back, her left shoulder, the one on the right side, back, and created a little more diagonal with her right shoulder being up a little higher, and her left shoulder being up a little higher, her right shoulder being down, and having her body turned just a little bit towards the right-hand side of the image. She can still keep her head in that position. And the fact that she's full face is fine. The lighting is good on her, but the body position is not really as pleasing as it could be. But this is a nice image, and I am going to keep it in.
Okay, 28 is in. 29.
This photographer is not going to be happy with me because the image is wonderful. It really is. The buildings are sharp, they're crisp. The black and white in them really stands out nicely. I don't know why the photographer decided, and I'm assuming that the top was colored like the bottom, but I don't know why the photographer decided to make it half and half because it's such a beautiful image. I would have either, I think, left it all in the monochromatic black and white, or not left it in, but converted it all to the black and white, or I would have left it in color. I think it's a beautiful image, but the fact that you decided to give it this treatment just does not sit well with me. And that's the only thing. This is a personal opinion. So again, this is one of those images that if you like it, you hang it on your wall, but it's not going to stay in this competition. So take this one out.
29 is out. 30.
Well, I like the subject. I love the woman with the I'll call them flags, so they're not really flags, but I like what she's doing. But this image has so many difficult problems. Upper right-hand corner, whatever is going on there is totally distracting. On the left-hand side, you've got one woman's head on the top of what I'll call the flags. And then you've got half of another person the other way. And then the upper left-hand corner with those lights in that triangle. There's just too many distracting elements. I think that the subject matter is interesting, but there are just too many distractions to keep it in the competition. So I'm going to take this one out as well.
Okay, 30 is out. And last image, 31.
And this one is in. This was the last image. This is the image you sent me and said, or somebody sent me and said this was a late entry. This is really nice. I really like this image. I love the flow of both trees mimicking each other. I like the water and what's in the water. If there's one negative to this, and I'm not sure, there's like a halo above the mountain that goes all the way across. And I don't know whether the sky was replaced or fooled with in any way. It's not a deterrent that would make me take it out, particularly in a novice competition. But you really need to watch the halos that are created because it doesn't look like that's light. It looks like that was created when they were either fooling around with or changed the sky somehow. So it's a lovely image, and but for that one minor detail, this would really be perfect. So keep this one in.
Okay, 31 is in. I'm going to change my resolution a little bit just to make sure that I could see what I'm doing here over in Lightroom. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Let me get out of here and let's kill off all the images that we've decided were out and see what kind of number we've got and make sure we match up. I have, let's see. Of course, it's not going to tell me, is it? how many images do we have? Typically, I get numbers. Let me go over to
14 by my count.
14 by Ron's count. For some reason, I don't have the numbers here, so let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have the same amount, Joel?
I think so.
Okay.
So here's good. If you'll give me the numbers and I'll look at them because usually I would like to say but I can't do that.
Okay.
So if you just give me the numbers, let me I'll take one. I need how many? 8 or 7?
7.
7. Okay, so I have to eliminate half of them.
Okay, let me give you the numbers that we have that are still in. Number 3.
Let me take a look here. That's in. I'll stay in.
Number 5.
Number 5 is the fraud. Yes. And that will come out.
You said you want to take that one out?
Yes, that's out.
Okay, let me go back. Oh, come on. Okay, that one is out. The next one we have is 7.
7 will stay in.
The next one is number 8.
And 8 is staying.
Did you say 8 was going to stay?
Yes.
Okay, 8 is in. Number 9.
Yeah, that will stay in. We may be here all night.
Number 10 is next.
10 I'm going to take out.
Okay, pulling 10 out. Number 11 is next.
And that's in.
11's going to stay in. Number 12.
I'm going to take 12 out.
12 is out. Next one is 16.
50 women. I hate to take this one out.
You're going to take
I'm gonna
16?
leave
You're going to take 16 out?
No, I'm going to leave it in.
Okay, sorry, I misheard you. Next one is number 17.
It's so close. I'm going to take 17 out reluctantly.
Okay, 17 is out. The next one is 23.
3. And I'm going to take that out as well.
23 is out. The next one is 24.
I'm going to leave that one in for now.
24 is in. Number 28.
He is. Are there any more below that?
There is one more, which is number 31.
Let me look at 31, and then I'll tell you whether 28 is in or out. Hold on, let me just take a quick look. Well, 31 is in, so I'm going to take out 28.
Okay, 28 is out. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more to take out, or we can start placing.
You're killing me. Okay, can we just run through them one more time?
Certainly, we have.
John, we need 7.
What's that?
We need 7.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Okay. There's the images again. Number 3.
That's in.
Number 7.
7 is. Okay, I'm going to leave that in right now.
Okay, 7 is in. Number 8.
Okay, I'm going to take 8 out, and I really hate to do that, but the road is just a distraction to a really lovely image, so I'm going to take 8 out.
Okay, 8 is out, and that should leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 images. Now we need whatever direction you want to go, honorable mentions, and then first through fourth, or whichever way.
Why don't you, well, the rose, I'm going to make that second place.
Number 3 is second place.
Correct. And then, if you could just give me the numbers again. There was one, and the last is 31 is, that would be first place.
Which one is first place?
31.
31, okay. Gnarly Tree is, go down here, first place, and place that
And
there.
I need to find a second. So what have I got left here?
I may have misheard you, but I thought you put second as number 3.
Oh, I did. I need a third. I was one. You're correct. And let's see. I think I'll take the yellow-bellied sapsucker as number 3, and the rest of them will be on them.
Okay, we need one more as a fourth place, but number 11 is third place. We just need one more for fourth, and the rest will get honorable mention.
All right, what are the 3 left?
What was that?
What are the 4 that are left?
Oh, 4 that are left are number 7, number 9, 16, and 24.
Oh, wait a minute. 7, 9. And you said 15?
16.
Okay. 16.
Right. And then 24. Those are the 4 that we have left.
And 24, yeah. Okay, I guess the 16, but the 12 would look like the 4.
So
That's
number
that'd be third.
16, Embrace, you'd like to have that as fourth?
Yes.
Okay, number 16, Embrace, is number 4, and the rest will go to honorable mentions. Joel, are you using Lightroom?
No, unfortunately, I'm not at my computer in Austin.
Oh,
That's the
gotcha.
problem.
Because I was gonna help you out, figure out the easy way. What you can probably do is, as long as you're not deleting them off your computer, if you delete them out of the catalog, as you reject them, that'll give us the remainders in your photo program.
I'll try. You mean delete as we go?
That's well with Lightroom, I just reject them and then I can filter them out. But you could delete them from your catalog as we go if you'd like to do that. That makes it a little bit easier for you.
The problem is I don't have because I'm not at I'm at my son's computer and he doesn't have it. So I would either have to delete the image. And let me see if I can do. Yeah, I don't think it'll let me do that.
It may not be possible. We can continue to do it like this. It's no problem.
I'll make notes. I'll make notes as we go.
Gotcha. Okay, we're going to read the winners tonight. Ron, would you like to read the winners as we go through? I'm going to start with number 24, honorable mention.
Okay, honorable mention number 24, Fire Eater, and that's Catherine Rush. Congratulations. Catherine, this evening, is she here? No. Okay. All right. Number 9, Sia, is also an honorable mention. That's Catherine Rush. Congratulations. Okay. Number 7, Ride in the Dark, as honorable mention, and that's Monique. Monique, you want to talk a little bit about that?
This was taken at the Balloon Festival last year. What was it called? In Crownsville. So yeah, that's what it is. Oh, and the things behind it, they're the cars. So I'm going to try to filter them out for next time.
All right. Yeah. And number 16 is 4th place. Me again, huh? All right, Monique, you want to talk about Embrace?
Judge was right. These are just 2 forks on a white background. Wow, there's nothing more to say.
Very nicely done.
Okay, and number 3rd place is number 11. And that's Yellow-Bellied Sapsucker, and that's Deborah Davis. Deborah here this evening? Okay. And number 2 is Friendship Rose, and that's 2nd place, Gwen Neff. Okay. Gwen here this evening? Everybody decided to send it in and stay home in the air conditioning. Okay, and our number 1 image tonight is Gnarly Tree, and that is Timothy Hugheskin. Congratulations. Okay. Timothy here? Okay. All right. Well, John, that's a good selection. Now, I'm now worried we got 40 to do for the next one. So, Joel, are you hanging in? We got about 40 more images for the next group.
No, I quit, and I'm turning it over to Ron.
Okay.
Okay, the contest team, we had a really good showing for novices. Joe, I'm going to let you get a chance to get over to the Unlimiteds. I'm going to do the same thing. But contest team, we had a great turnout of novices. Did everybody do a great job at sizing their images correctly?
They did. I was very impressed.
Bob usually helps out. Bob, he's rating the cookie jar, or actually, sorry, Bob, the biscuit jar. Would everybody do a good job at sizing their images correctly for the contest there? I got a thumbs up, so I'm really proud of a lot of new names in the novices for sending in 31 images. That is absolutely fantastic, and definitely keep it up. About halfway through, I think, Mike, you were going to try to start our fire pit. We are going to have our fire pit, but you can judge kind of halfway through. And I hope everybody brought chairs and decided to stay here with us a little bit later after we finish our contest. But why don't we go ahead and get started on reading them. Joel, are you ready?
I am ready to go.
Okay.
How many do I need?
You've got 42 images to go through. That's 1st through 4th, and 4 honorable mentions. That's going to be 8 at the end.
Okay, good.
8 this time.
8 this time. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read through them a little bit faster. Number 1, Medieval Garden.
Okay. I'm sorry. You're going to.
Yeah, I'm gonna read through them real quick, and then we'll go right back to number 1, and I'll let you have it. Okay?
I apologize.
No problem. Number 2 is Happy Family. Number 3 is Hello Lunch. Number 4 is Frida's House, Mexico City. Number 5 is Brandywine Ceiling. Number 6, Tulip Bud. Number 7, Young Girls Bike. Number 8, St. Mary's Chapel. Number 9, Manchester Cathedral. Number 10, Ice Cream. 11, Split Lighting. 12 is Kilimanjaro. 13, Light Trails. 14, She's Got Betty Davis Eyes. 15, Contemplation. 16, Seen and Unseen. 17, Maine Coon. 18, Please Do Not Call My Husband. 19, Reflection and Reality. 20, Dunes. Number 21, Roseate Spoonbill in Flight. Number 22, Shipwreck. Number 23, Relic. Number 24, Through the Covered Bridge. Number 25, Rock and Roll. Number 26, Chevrons. Number 27, Camilla. Number 28, Happy Family. Number 29, Taking Flight. Number 30, Lovers. 31, Waiting to Depart Red Man. 32, Tender Moment. 33, I'm Mad at You. 34, Foggy River Road. 35, Aubrey. 36, The Old Spaghetti Factory. 37, Drooling Tree Troll. 38, Hagley Water Channel. 39, Just a Bit Further. 40, Bob the Explorer. 41, Yosemite Rainbow. And 42 is Great Horned Owl. I'm going to fast rewind all the way back to number 1 and give that to you whenever you're ready.
Let me get back to 1 here.
1, Medieval Garden.
Yeah. Okay, so before I start, there are going to be a lot of images in here that could be award winners and a lot. So, I only have 8 out of 40, so take a deep breath and don't get too upset. All right. This one is out, and I'll tell you particularly why. I don't know what went on here. The bottom half of this image is very sharp, which I like. I like the stone wall, and I like the grasses in the foreground. But there's something funky with I guess, I don't know if it's a tree or what, on the right-hand side of the railings, there's a tree that looks like it's been maybe cloned, but there was at the top, it's all blocked up in different places, and then along the greenery, there's a big blotchy area. So I'm not quite sure what the problem was with it, but technically it's not holding up. And just a personal comment, I'm not quite sure what the real interest is here. I mean, we've got a staircase and we've got a little wall, but it's not striking me as a really, really compelling subject. So this one's out.
Number 1 is out. Number 2.
And 2 is also out. It's cute. It's a cute idea. I have a problem with the large, sort of mauve-colored jacket on the left-hand side. There's something behind it that is not. It looks like it's not part of the jacket for sure. It's very distracting, and I just don't see the excitement of the subject matter. I understand it. It looks like you got dad and mom and 3 kids, but there's just not enough here in a competition of this quality. So I'm going to take this one out as well.
Number 2 is out. Number 3.
Number 3 is in. I don't know whether they placed that fish or whether they caught that action, but nevertheless, it is just really well done. The bird, the heron, is sharp as can be. You can see all the feathers in the bird, and the placement of the fish where he picked it up and hasn't quite chomped down on it is great. This is a lovely image. It's not easy to get that, so that's in.
Number 3 is in. Number 4.
Okay. 4 is an image that a lot of us take. I like the wall. I like the lantern. I like the little aha moment in the lower right-hand corner. But the shadow is really long, so I don't think the light is in exactly the right place. I would like to have seen a more replication of the actual lantern in the shadow. So while I like this image, and we've all taken them, I think, it's not strong enough for this competition, so I'm going to pick this one out.
Number 4 is out. Number 5.
And 5 is in. It's a very interesting, I know it's the ceiling of some kind because that's what the title said, but I have no idea where it is. It's interesting. I know what happened. I can see what happened. The photographer, I think, split this in half and put one on one side and one on the other. Of course, you can see where sort of the damage is on the lower portion of the image. So I think this was composited, but it's still a very nice image. It's well composed. The lighting is good. I like the shadows that are being shown. So this image is in.
Number 5 is in. Number 6.
6 is going to be out. I think the flower, number 1, is too hot. And number 2, only a very small portion of it is in focus. And the whole outer edge of the flower all the way around is out of focus. It's very distracting. So this image is not strong enough for this competition, so it is out.
Okay, number 6 is out. Number 7.
Number 7 is really cute, and I'm going to leave it in, but it's fairly static, and I don't know whether the photographer, whether this was a grab shot or whether he or she placed the bike in front of the door. But if it was placed in front of the door, I would have liked to have seen it a little off center because it's very static. But it's a cute image. It brings a lot of emotion. You'd like to see the little girl that is riding this bike with the training wheels on it. So I like the shadow underneath at the bottom, so I'm going to keep it in for now.
Number 7 is in. Number 8.
I'm going to take this out, and it's a nice shot of this church. The sky is not helping this in any way, shape, or form. In the lower left-hand corner, you've got a white thing in the background. It looks, I don't know what it is, but it shouldn't be there in a more advanced photography competition. So I would have tried to have brought more highlights in, or not highlights, but color into the sky if it could have been done. It's just a little flat overall, so I'm going to take this one out.
Okay, number 8 is out. Number 9.
Number 9 is definitely in. This is a really well done architectural shot. It is symmetrical. It is the highlights are highlighted where they should be on the. I'm assuming those are organ pipes. So on the organ pipes at the upper portion, and a little highlighted area on the smaller areas with the gold stripe in it, and then down at the bottom. This is really well done. I don't have much to say about this other than bravo. So this is it.
Number 9 is in. Number 10.
Okay. And this is also in. This is adorable. And the fact that you caught this child tongue out, almost getting it. I would bet that this was a grab shot. It wasn't set up, which is all the more interesting. It's got this sort of halo effect, which is really nice. I'm not quite sure what the, maybe it's perspiration, I don't know, on the back of the bag, but it doesn't matter. The model area of that doesn't really make me, it doesn't make it a distraction. And the child is adorable. You caught the moment for sure. So the 10 is in.
Number 10 is in. Number 11.
11. Okay. So the photographer is correct. It's split lighting. If you look carefully at this image, it looks like you've got a Rembrandt light underneath the model's right eye and the left eye in the photograph. However, you have a dead eye on the right side. There's no catch light. If you turn the model just a little bit, you might have caught some catch light in that right eye. So it's a little dead up there. And if you look at the other issue, there's always a problem that you need to really pay attention to is the thumb under the chin. If she tucked the thumb under her other fingers and just brought the fingers up to the chin, it would have been a much stronger image. But the fact that thumb sticks out there is a real no-no. It doesn't look good. I think other than that, it would be a really nice image. It could probably use a little contrast. but it's really nice, and I really like actually the Rembrandt light underneath the right eye. But the fact that she really has a dead left eye and that thumb, it's a nice image, but I'm going to take it out for that reason.
Is this one in or out?
Out.
Number 11 is out. Number 12.
Number 12 is in. I really don't have any. I saw this before, and then I saw it when it came through tonight. This is a really beautiful image. I mean, the rocks are in great light. Yeah, this image is. I don't have any really negatives to say about this. This is really well composed. The colors is well done. There's nothing blown out. The subject matter is really great. You got great clouds in the sky. Maybe if there was one thing, I might either take out that little thing that's on the left-hand side of the ridge, or I might have cropped a little bit off of that. I'm not sure you needed all of that left side, but other than that, this is a lovely image. So this one is in.
12 is in. Number 13.
13. Okay, 13 is going to be out. I like the idea of using a very, unless you use a star filter, which I don't know, but if you had a very small aperture and you got really nice starburst, I love the car trails, the lights at the bottom. However, and I like the light at the top, so the colors at the top is great. However, if you go from the tree line all the way down, almost all the way down, everything in there is blocked up, and you have no details at all except for where there's a few lights somewhere. So I would either have tried to lighten that, or maybe just not put it in this particular competition. So this one is out. It's, about 60% of this image is total black.
Okay, 13 is out. Number 14.
14. Okay, this is a perfect loop light. For those of you who don't know what a loop light is, if you look at the nostril, her left nostril, that little shadow right there, that's called the loop. It was what Leonardo da Vinci has in all of his, as opposed to the Rembrandt light, which is the triangle. This is the loop light. It's a really well lit image. And I'm going to keep this in, but I would tell the photographer I would have turned her a little. The position of her head, as I said before, is great. I would have turned her a little bit so that both of her shoulders were not square to the camera. It would be a much more pleasing effect if that back shoulder was a little lower and a little further back, so that you had the light shining on the upper right shoulder. But this is a really well lit image. You got catch light in both eyes. You got the classic loop light, and you've got nice detail all the way through, from her breast all the way down to the item that she's sort of wearing around her. So this is a nice image. I'll keep this one in.
Number 14 is in. Number 15.
Here it is. Okay. This is a cute image. Anyone looking at him or herself in the reflection. You've got a nice reflection. I think that when you're doing a portrait like this, you really need to be careful with your background. Your background does go to blur at the back end of the image, but there's so much what I'll call junk, the white blotches in there that could be easily taken out in Photoshop. And then there's the little yellow one that's just at the top of the arch of the penguin's neck. I just don't know why you would leave that in, unless, if you were trying to say that it's a nature image and therefore I'm not going to take anything out of it. But this is not a nature competition. This is a competition for the best images. And I think that a little bit of work on the top portion of this photograph would have made it much stronger. So I'm going to take this one out.
Number 15 is out. Number 16.
I'm assuming this was a grab shot as well, because they had I don't think he would set these people up. So I like the image. I like the idea. I think the man's shirt, the back of his shirt, is blown out. And I see really, I understand that when you look at the seen and unseen, I sort of get that, but I just don't think it's quite strong enough. I keep going back and forth, and I don't see, my eyes don't light anywhere. You almost have two images, both of which would be strong, portraits, but it's a close shot, but it's not quite there. So I'm going to take this one out.
Number 16 is out. Number 17.
I'm going to take number 17 out. And this one, unlike the one in the novice where the cat's eyes were closed, I don't understand why the photographer didn't just crop really tight and just show me the cat. You got catch lights in the eyes. You got great whiskers. You've got a blown out paw on the right hand side, and it's just an unnatural look for this cat. But the face is adorable, and has great detail in it. So I would have just cropped way down in. Alternatively, you potentially could have put a hard vignette on here that would have softened it a little bit. You've got this maybe 10% of the image in the upper right-hand corner is just a white blob. It just doesn't quite cut it. So I'm going to take this one out.
17 is out. Number 18.
I think the title of this says it all. Please don't call my husband, but I'm assuming this was set up because that car is like a early 60s or late 50s or something. The image is a little soft. I think the idea is great. When I tried to blow this up, the car is not really in focus, and neither is the woman. Her blouse is I didn't look at it in terms of see whether it was blown out, but it's pretty much blown out there. But this is a great shot. If you have an opportunity to do it again, I definitely would work on this because this has great potential. I'd love to keep it in, but unfortunately with 40 images and it being a little soft, I'm going to take it out. But I love the curve in the road. I love the location of the car, and the title says it all. But unfortunately, it's just a little soft, and And that's a shame because it's a nice, very clever image, but I'm going to take this out.
Number 18 is out. Number 19.
And I'm going to take number 19 out as well. The light on this is a little harsh. I like the shadows. I don't quite understand what the photographer is asking me to look at. The bench and the shadows, I would think, would be the main subject, but the large tree on the right-hand side that goes up to a house or a structure up in between the branches up there is a very strong element, and it really detracts from the bench. And then on the right-hand side, the left-hand side, you have another building, looks like an old building with brick. And it just is not strong enough. I think that the shadows and the bench by itself would have been a very compelling image, but with all of the background in addition to that, it's just not as strong. So I'm going to take that down.
Number 19 is out. Number 20.
Okay, this is a fence. It's really, really strong shadows. I think it's a little over processed for my taste, and the wood, particularly the I don't know how to tell you. If you come over, you start at the right and you come over where the round log is. The next piece of wood. The wood is blown out and you've lost a lot of grain in there. I think this has been over processed, and I would have tried to take out some of the blue. I think it's a little bit unnatural, and I think you're probably catching the blue from a really maybe a deep blue sky. But this, although I really like the image, I think, as I say, I think it looks over processed to me. So I'm going to take this out. You might consider converting this to a black and white, so that, and then taking down some of the highlights. I think you'd have a stronger image that way. So I'm going to take this out as well.
Okay, 20 is out. Number 21.
This is a really nice picture of the spoon. I think it's a spoon, though, but whatever it is, it's really, you captured the moment really well. And the sky is modeled in the back with the shadow clouds, which helps it a great deal. The colors are really, really complementary with the blue and white clouds in the sky, and then the red on the bird. I'm going to leave this in, but the photographer should consider the composition a little bit. If you can give him him or her a little more space, maybe take off some of the left-hand side, or if you have a little more room, just on the right-hand side, just give it a little more room on the right-hand side. It's a little static the way it's sitting there, but it's so well focused, and the red eye on the bird is so pronounced. And I'm going to leave this in. It's a really good effort.
Number 21 is in. Number 22.
Okay. This is a really dynamic image with some really, really nice emotion. I think, if I'm correct, hold on for 1 second. I can't be sure, but I think there may be a truck or a car right in the middle of the image down there, which gives you a real sense of scale. There's so much motion because of the tracks from the car and the curving line that goes all the way back. And when you get to the back, you have this beautiful rock structure. And then you move over to the left-hand side and you see the rock structure there. This is a really, really nice image. I'm going to leave this one in.
22 is in. 23.
I'm going to take this out. I can't tell whether this is a little over-processed as well, but in the bottom, and when you look at the arches in the bottom, and you look under the arch on the right-hand side, the sculpture on the top of the crypt, I'm assuming that's what it is, or else it's just a sculpture on this area, is totally blown out. You really cannot see very much of it. And I think the color is a little strange. Almost looks like if it was a film image, I would say it looks like it's cross-processed. But, if it was a slide, they processed in the wrong chemical. But it just looks over-processed to me. And if I'm wrong, I apologize to the maker, but I'm going to take it out on that basis.
23 is out. Was 23 out?
Yeah, outside is out, yeah.
No problem, sorry. 24.
No problem. This is a really interesting image. I mean, I've seen so many covered bridges, but this one sort of felt like a painting. I mean, it was real. I think it's really well done. The yellows are really, even if they're not the exact color, if they're a little brighter, I think they complement the white structure and the red structure really well. I don't see it's really composed very well. When you get to this subject matter, you don't just see a road at the other end. You see some greenery, which I think really helps this image. I'm definitely keeping this one in.
24 is in. 25.
25. And 25, I'm going to take out. I'm not even sure I can tell you why exactly. What I like about it is I like the rock and roll, and looks like it was maybe I like the way the lighting is coming off of it and creating the sparkles on both the red and the blue. I like the movement, the movement of, I assume it's a ride, but the silhouettes of the two people in the front first of all, they don't really show what they're doing. The silhouette of the one on the left has a halo around it, which I assume is coming from the ride, but it doesn't help it much. And it's a bit static. It's a bit in your face. So I'm going to take this one out.
25 is out. 26.
26 is a very interesting image. It certainly is not split down the middle and then reversed. It's two separate pieces of wood. You can tell because the grain on the left is different from the grain on the right. It's really well composed. There's a lot of grain. in here that it maybe could use just a hair more contrast, but for the most part, the lines are pretty distinct. I like the multiple triangles. I'm going to keep this one again as a really nice effort.
26 is in, 27.
We have 40, right? Or so, excuse me. I'm going to take this one out, primarily because I think the whole image is a little soft. And the stamens in the middle, if that's what they are, or if they're not stamens, the pistils are blown out. I think this may have been a flash shot, I'm not sure, but the tips of the stamens or pistils are definitely blown out, and the image itself is soft. So yeah, I'm going to take this one out.
27 is out, 28.
28 is adorable. I love the kids. I'm not happy about the fact that the little boy and the little girl on the right are looking at whoever's trying to make them laugh, as opposed to the photographer. But the little girl on the left-hand side is absolutely scrumptious. He's just cute as a button. Having said that, there's so many things that could be done here to make this a better image. Number one, the outlet on the left-hand side could be removed. I think the image could be cropped actually much closer. Both, I would tighten the whole image up, and then I would vignette it. The two, I guess they're metal pieces on the screen should be darkened. It was interesting, and I know it's because of the lens, is the blue molding on the left-hand side is not straight, and yet the one on the right-hand side is fairly straight. But so it's really the lens that I think is creating this. So I'm going to take this out as much as I think it's an adorable image, but I think that the background needs a lot of work to make it a stronger image. And I would crop on both sides and tighten the image up totally. So I'm going to take this out.
28 is out, 29.
Okay. Well, I love the top half of the image, and I'm not sure why the bottom half of the image is there. I understand the foreground, but it's just so distracting. You've got such a beautiful image at the top. I think I would have cropped really close in and just worked on the pod that was flying. And the bottom half it's so large and so out of focus and white that it detracts totally from the image at the top. I think you have two separate images here. So I'm going to take this out as much as I like the top half.
29 is out, 30.
Okay, so this is a really, really noisy image. Ooh. You've got a lot of color noise in here. I like the subject matter, and I like the sky. And I mean, the gentleman looks like he's wearing glasses. I mean, it's pretty well done there. I think that this is another one where I don't think you need all of this image. well, 20% of the image at the bottom is totally black, and there is some, not totally black, I don't mean that, just totally dark. There is some information in it, but it's so noisy that I think that is a total distraction. There's just too much color noise in this to be an acceptable image, so I'm going to take this one out.
30 is out. Number 31. Oops. Let me get over there. Number 31. There it is.
Okay, and I think this is totally subjective. I don't know whether the gentleman is looking out of a window or a garage door or whatever. I think this image would have been stronger had he been looking in the other direction and having the widest part of the light. I know that's the back end of it, and that's where it's spreading out, but there's not enough room for this gentleman. He's almost out of the frame, and the rest of the image doesn't really lend itself to help it at all. So, I mean, could you crop the top maybe 20% off there and tighten it up a little bit? And maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't want to crop the bottom because I think the shadow helps it, but I don't know why the image was bathed in red. I know it was intentional, but I just think it's too much. It's not natural looking, so I'm going to take this one out.
31 is out. Number 32.
I like this image, but I think it's cute, and I agree with having one nestled up against the other. I don't think it's a rock. I think it's another animal. I don't know what it is, but it looks like, either don't quote me, a sea lion or something with that ilk. But I just don't think this is strong enough. It's a cute image, but it's not strong enough to stay in this competition. So I'm going to take this out.
32 is out. Number 33.
I'm going to take 33 out, and I know that people are probably saying, "Oh, I can't believe it." It's a great shot of the head of the eagle, but the rest of the eagle is just not flattering at all. The wings, I would like to. I don't know why it was cropped so tight. I would like to have seen more of the eagle. I assume that's the tail underneath the wing on the right-hand side, going out of the image. And I just don't think the composition is right on this. I think the exposure is beautiful on the face. Again, this is another one where the face is beautiful, but the body and even the whatever you call them, the claws, they're pretty ominous. But I think the total picture just doesn't hold together. It's not strong enough. So I'm going to take this one out as well. I love the face, but the rest of the image is just not flattering at all.
Number 33 is out. Number 34.
This is pretty. It's a very serene scene. I love the fog. I'm assuming it was it couldn't have been too long an exposure, so probably was fog on the river. I like this. This is really nice. I mean, if I had any criticism, I would like the birds to be a little further to the right so there's a little more room in the picture, but but the bird on the left is sort of turning to move back into the picture. So I like this. I like that. I'll keep this.
34 is in. Number 35.
And let me just pick the note here. I'm getting a lot of images in, but bad. Let's see. Okay, this is, I believe, another studio image. You got another nice, really nice loop light, so the lighting is right. I like the lighting on her hair, particularly on the left side where the light is coming from. I like the fact that you sort of photograph this. She's full face, but you're a little more to the shadow side, which I like. I think that lends a little mystery. The one thing you should keep in mind is you should have had this model cheat a little bit, where she's looking totally to the left. You lost some of the sclera on the other side of the eye. And generally, if you could have made her cheat a little bit and look a little bit more towards the camera, but not to the camera, you would have gotten more of the sclera on both sides of her eyes. So but that's a small thing and something you can work on when you take your next images. I don't like the chest area on the tattoo side. That should have been darkened down. That stands out, and there's no reason for it to stand out because it's not really helping. I would have darkened that down. So I actually would have darkened both her breasts on the right hand side down, her left breast, but on the right hand side of the image down as well, because it's detracting from the young lady who's got a great face. I think the makeup on her is nice. I think the lighting is well done, but the bottom half of the image is not as flattering as it could have been. So I'm going to take this one out. We do have an awful lot of good images. But it's a close call.
Okay, 35 is out. Number 36.
I'm going to leave this in. I like the old spaghetti factory in the upper left, and the way the reflection has created all these weird looks. And I think, let me see, there are a few elements in here that the photographer could maybe take out. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little piece in that first rectangle. I would take that out. And the same thing on the left-hand side, I would take that out. I might have even though I like the sort of the curvature, you probably could have cropped at that first piece of metal frame and still gotten the curve you wanted on the left-hand side. But that's sort of a photographer's choice. But if you come down 1, 2, 3 rectangles on the left-hand side, that whatever that piece is there, it's horizontal. I would have tried to take that out as well because it's distracting. But other than that, it's a very clever, very nicely seen photograph. So I'll leave that in for now.
36 is in. 37.
37. Sorry, let me just make it through here. Okay. Here's what I like about this image. I think it's a neat piece of, I think it's wood. I like that. The background is lovely. really nice. The droplets on the bottom of the wood structure are blown out, and that is really one of the most important elements in the photograph. So when you're just seeing the white blob on those two outcroppings there, it really destroys, to my mind, the whole image. You do have, and I don't know what the structure is, but if you go up from where those droplets are, you almost have a mouth, a nose, and maybe an eyeball that would maybe sort of looks like a figure in this piece. But I don't. But other than that, those two droplets that don't have anything in them. There's no texture, and they're blown out. It's just not strong enough, so it's got to go out.
Number 37 is out. We're on to number 38.
Is an interesting image. I want to see one thing here. Yeah. The center of the image, and I have no idea what this is, to be honest with you, but the center of the image is blurry. It's not sharp at all. The silver and white and black that attaches to it on both sides, I assume it's either ice or water, is very sharp, and then it tails off and gets softer on both sides, which I don't mind. But the fact that the center of it is also blurry and not sharp is very, very disconcerting to me. So I'm not sure I know what this is. I'm not sure I have to know, but I'm going to take this one out.
38 is out. Number 39.
And 39, it would be a really, really sort of boring image if you didn't have the two hikers on the left-hand side on the ridge showing the scale of everything. That really helps. And the waterfall, not being soft, but actually seeing the power of the fall coming down is very nice. I think the one issue that I have with this is that it's flat. The lighting is flat. It looks like where the people are behind them, it looks like there's really some nice light on that rock structure there. But it looks like we're on the shadow side of any light, and there's no contrast here, so it's very flat lighting on this side. A little behaze in Lightroom would help, and then maybe popping up the contrast on it would also help. But I'm going to take this one out, even though I really like the images. This is out.
39 is out. 40.
This is a really nice still life. The human element. The lighting on this is great. The lighting on the lamp is really well done. Even the little, what looks like tea or something that's on the wooden table is nicely placed. The book is nicely placed. This is a really well done, either environmental portrait or a setup portrait. I really like this image. This is it.
40 is in. Number 41.
Let me just make a note here. 41. Again, this was not the best time of day. The lighting is pretty flat. it's a great rainbow effect at the bottom of the waterfall, but the rest of the image is really, really flat. It needs a lot of contrast. I know the waterfall's right in the center. I would have liked to see the waterfall more to the right, and so that the flow from the bottom of the water would give you a down and then a nice diagonal with some room at the bottom. So I'm going to take this one out. It must have been beautiful to see when you were there, but it's just a long time of day. So I'm going to take this out.
Number 41 is out. Number 42.
42. I love the owl, okay? But I would like to have seen the photographer pop the eyes in the owl a little bit so we had a little brighter eye. We could see the owl's eye. I mean, the information is there. I think you could have done a lot with the eyes, and I would have cropped 30% of this image off on the right-hand side, up to maybe where the branch is, because from the long branch going up to the outside of the image is just totally useless information, and it's busy. So it's fairly bright over there, so you go looking over there, which takes your eyes away from the owl. I think I might have darkened the left-hand side on the left-hand side of the tree, and I would have cropped about I guess it's 20% of the way in, up to where the tall branch, the long branch is, and I would have fixed the owl's eye. It's a great shot of this great horned owl, and it's one that I think has a lot of potential, and I would work with it. You might want to darken looks like a tree trunk behind the owl's head, so that the owl's head stands out more. It's a really good effort, but it's not going to stand up to some of the other images, so I'm going to take this out.
Okay, 42 is out. Let's see what we're left with. Come up here, click on that there. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 16 images. Is that right, you guys?
I have 14.
I have 14.
14. I may have missed something.
I had 14.
You have 14 as well. Let me double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I must have missed some. Let me go through the numbers again, and our counters in the audience and you as well, Joel, you can let me know. Number 1 that I have in is number 3.
Yes.
I then have number 5.
Yes.
I then have number 7.
Yes.
Number 9.
Yep.
Number 10.
Yep.
Number 12.
Yep.
14.
Correct.
21.
Correct.
22.
Correct.
24.
Correct.
26.
Yep.
30. Yeah, I think I did miss that one. I think I may, and 31? No. Hey, I think I missed both of those too. I must have clicked it twice and redid it. The final I have after 24 is 26.
36.
Well, I have 26, 34, 36, 40. And that should take us to 14. I'm getting thumbs up from from our professional counters out here.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Okay.
So I have to pair and figure 8, and I have 16 or 14.
Yes, there's 14 images here.
And we have to get down to 8.
We have to get down to 8. What we could do is we could take images out, or you can start placing, and the ones you don't place can fall off the back. However you'd like to do it.
Well, let's start with 3 and like that's not everything out for you. Is that okay?
I didn't understand that. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I said let's start with number 3, and I'll go through them and tell you whether they're in or out.
Sounds good. Number 3.
Right, I have 3 in.
Number 5.
Got it. Hold on. Number 5 out.
5's out. Number 7.
And 7 out.
7 is out. Number 9.
Let's see. What we got here. That's definitely in. That's number 1.
Number 10.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, number 9 is first place, right?
Correct. Okay.
Well, next is
Yeah.
number 10.
That's in.
10 is in. Number 12.
12 is out.
12 is
For the
out.
reasons I said before, that eye and the thumb. And I thought I took that out last time, but maybe I didn't. Okay.
Our next image is number 14.
14, I'm going to leave in.
14's in. Number 21.
Hold on. That's out.
21 is out. Number 22.
Let me see. All right, 22 is in for now.
22 is in. Number 24.
Gosh, I'm going to leave that in for now.
24 is in. Number 26.
I'm going to take 26 out.
26
Nice.
is out. Number 34.
Let me get 34, so I got here. You're killing me. Ron, do you want to take over?
Ron says no.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm going to leave that one in for right now.
34 is in. Number 36.
30. Yeah. I'm going to take 36 out.
36 is out. The last one is number 40, but we're down to 8.
Okay, so we're down to, right?
We're down to what you need. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me go back up. To number, let me just go back here for a minute. What happened to the portrait of the man with the microscope?
That's number 40. That's the last one you've got. You were down to 8, and he's in there.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to make that number 3.
Image number
Third place.
40 is third place.
Yep. And let me see if I can find the 2. Hold on. So I'm looking at 9 and 10. That was 9 was first place, right?
That's correct.
You know what? I've gotten a little out of kilter here, but let me. I love the picture of the little boy in the ice cream, but let me take a quick look at 2 more images. I'm sorry. I wish I had phones at home and I could have put them on Lightroom. It would have been easy.
No problem. We're getting through it.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 and oh, here. Okay. I'm going to give the I'm not sure. Let me go back. Okay, so yeah, so the ice cream is going to be number 4.
Okay, number 10, the ice cream is 4th place.
And what? Yeah, that'll be 4. So am I just looking at the rest of the honorables, or am I missing one?
You're missing a second place winner.
Second place winner. Okay. So let me. I've lost my. What numbers are left? I'm sorry. I've made so many notes I can't see them anymore.
No problem. The numbers that are left are 3, 14, 22, 24, and 34.
Okay, let me go back. I apologize, but we'll get it. I know what 3 is. You say 3 and 14?
3, 14, 22, 24, 34.
Yeah. Okay, 3 is going to be number 2.
Okay, 3 is second place. The rest are honorable mentions. Ron, are you ready to read out some honorable mention names?
In 1 second here, just to make sure I don't miss any.
And make sure to hold the microphone a little closer to your face, Ron, otherwise you get a little bit of feedback.
Yes, sir.
This was a tough competition. You had a lot of really good.
2, 3, 4. Okay. 2, 3. All right, I'm going to have to depend on your list up there. That's more accurate.
No problem.
Okay, honorable mention, Foggy River Road, number 34, and that is Debbie Wolf. And Debbie's not here still. Yeah, didn't come yet. Okay. Number 24, Through the Covered Bridge, and the photographer was Christine Milliker. Christine?
That was taken on a trip I took with my stepfather and family in the fall, and I just like the view through the bridge.
Where was it?
We went to 8 different bridges that day, and I can't remember exactly which one this one was. Yes, it was all Somerset County, Pennsylvania.
Lovely.
All right. Number 22 is honorable mention. That's Shiprock, and that's my photograph. I shot that in October. Went there actually twice on a week trip out there, and late in the day. And that's when I have to say there was a little bit of a Photoshop play to try to get the best out of some bad light.
Is that a truck in the background? Way down?
And no, it's another lump of rock.
I thought it was a truck.
Yeah. All right, number 14, she's got Betty Davis eyes, and that's Fred Venicio.
Yeah, that's Christie. I shot that in 2018. 2018, and I made a mistake. I only used 2 lights, and I needed a third one, so I just added it.
That's a really pretty image.
Okay, also honorable mention, number 10, ice cream. And that's
Number 4.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. Tammy Gorsak. Tammy didn't mean to subtract that. And I think Tammy's not here this evening. Okay, and Bob the Explorer. I think I know that subject. Well, the subject's in the room, but the photographer is not. Bob the Explorer was photographed by Mike Thomas. And Bob, since you're here, you are the subject. You want to talk about how that was taken?
Yes, that was actually taken just outside at the bench at night, and Mike set it all up, and that's about it.
The lantern really was glowing.
Yes, that one, glowing lantern.
Okay, number 3 is Hello Lunch, or the second place is number 3, Hello Lunch. And that was my picture. I shot that also in the fall at Blackwater Refuge. And I have to say, I put my camera on sports mode, which is basically the preset for like 1,500 per second, 1/1500th of a second, and just fired off about 500 shots of this bird fishing, and happened, lucky enough, got him at this particular position. So
Yeah, I thought that was,
one of the things that was disturbing about it was I was trying to get the fish sharp as a tack, but he was moving enough just to make a slight blur in it. So it's been on my computer most of the winter trying to figure that one out.
a great catch.
Thank you.
No pun intended.
Our first place image tonight is Manchester Cathedral, and that's Doug Wood. And Jackie, do you have any information on that?
If he's on, he'll probably add some things, but this was taken on his trip to England, and if I know Doug, it was probably a series of panoramas, and he worked quite a bit on it. This is, I think, the 3rd time it's been seen, too.
Okay, and John, can I just also throw a pitch in to thank Joel for judging for us tonight. He's always really informative and giving us a lot of good, clear feedback. I think we all went away with a college education in photography this evening. So thank you for everything, Joel, and thank you for putting up with all the technology difficulties we've had to try to make this work this evening on your end.
Well, the one thing like, in Austin, so, but I always enjoy your images. They're really nice.
To seeing you next year. And by the way, you and I talked before this was Barnstormers tour. We almost connected to go photograph that. And for the rest of the club, Barnstormers tour will be back this spring. More information on that later then too.
Well, let me know, Ron.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thank you, Joel. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you had an image win, please post it to the Facebook group with a little bit of information about the image to us. Everybody here, if you could please, everybody can please grab a chair, clean up a little bit quicker. We have a warm fire pit. If you are not here with us, make sure to join us. We have a nice warm fire pit. We're going to sit out there. We've got some light painting stuff. We're going to have some fun and share some stories. So I hope you join us for next time. But with that, we're going to say goodnight, and we will see you all next week. Good night.